You guys, I am not home, and I am at the Smithsonian Reserve or Preserve, and I wanted to stay here to show you a little bit of what is on here. This is the Panama Canal, but it's like the weather has turned really bad and it's really dark. And I'm sitting here under this hippodromo. You see that ship right there? You see the sky? Oh my goodness. The weather has just soured. And I thought they closed at 4, but this young lady said they close at 5. So I said, okay, let me show them a little bit, but it just got really bad. So we're probably not going to be here long, okay? But I am here at the Smithsonian, and I got to see a sloth close by. And he was right there underneath there. He was crawling up, and I got some really nice pictures. And then the weather got worse. So the Smithsonian, as you know, in the States, it's an institute. They are concerned with research, bioresearch, biology, preservation. And I think the one here, the center here, is the only one outside of the US, right? So they are really involved in studying the effect of climate change. They want to replant trees, reforestation, and but also they study endangered species. Ooh, my goodness. I know. Whoever was watching was like, I don't need to watch that. That's boring. Oh, wow. Look at that. So, they close at 5. So, I'm probably going to have to make a run for it and cross the street to catch the bus because, I don't drive here. So, I am caught in a bad storm. Look at that, guys. Behind this island is the Panama Canal. You see the ships? Yes. This is the causeway. When you come to Panama, you do want to make a trip to the causeway. And they have lots of restaurants. And if you were to go past that, the end of the causeway, that's where you would catch the ferry to go to Taboga Island. Okay? So, oh my goodness. So this is interesting. So I got such good shots from the sloth. It was like up there on the bench because this is where I'm at. This area here is just like, it's got a big old cover. I guess they have events and stuff here. But now the weather has turned really bad. But anyway, so at the Smithsonian, they study, we have like a yellow frog that is kind of endangered here. Hola. Endangered here in Panama. And they're about preserving that yellow araño amarillo, the yellow frog. And if you go to El Valle, they have a whole museum dedicated to that frog, the yellow frog, and I did that. So when you go to El Valle, this is the one that's in a crater, a volcanic crater. You can go to the Butterfly Museum, the Yellow Frog Museum. You could climb the India Dormida, which is a hike. They also have some salt hot springs. You could go in there and take a bath. I didn't do that one. But I'd like to go back to El Valle. I'm just scared to go to like a hotel because people get bit by scorpions and snakes. And they told me about iguanas. I didn't see any iguanas here. There were 2 sloths I saw in the trees, but that one that was so close, I thought he was still going to be here, but he ran away. Oh. But I am here enjoying the beauty of Panama. It is stormy, and I wanted to do it out, outside of the house to show you a different part of Panama. But, so, yesterday I did an impromptu live to update you on the requirement to make sure you have your address current with immigration, right? So I talked about those of us who are here who needed to go and change it, and I went. I took a copy of my notarized lease. I printed out one of my energy electric bill, and then I made a copy of my residency card, permanent residency card, and I just handed it, and that was fine. Some ladies said they did not have their lease notarized, and they took it. You know, that's the thing. In these places, the attorney told us what to do. I just followed what the attorney said. But then it's like you can get someone, and they're like, you don't need that. The right hand doesn't say the same thing as the left hand. That's just the way it is. So, but if you are coming to Panama and you're coming to get your temporary residency, I don't think you need to worry about it, right? But if you're coming to get your permanent, make sure that the address you're giving them at the time is where you're going to be, which is usually not the case, because when you come, you're staying at an Airbnb. Some people have used the hotel address. Some people have used their attorney's address. But once you sign a lease and you have a permanent place, you have got to take that copy and take it to immigration so they have the latest address. And you have 30 days to do that. And if you don't do it after the 30 days, you can get fined $100. That's the first offense. The second offense, they said they would cancel your residency, and the third offense is deportation. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if you cancel my residency, then I have to leave. So you don't need to go to step 3, right? Makes no sense. But anyway, that's what they say. So just make sure you're on the up and up. And I have my own theory as to why they want to know exactly where we are, right? And this sister said, I've been here 17 years. I've never had to update anything. I don't know. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, this is the time to ask me, because first of all, I'm watching the time. Maybe like 4:45. I have to make sure I'm leaving and heading out and trying to find shelter and find a way to get back home. I was thinking, they have a restaurant on this causeway. This is like where the water, the bay, on one side is the canal, and on the other side you see the skyline. It's just so pretty. So you need to come see that area. Also, they have lots of nice restaurants here, and one of the most famous, I don't know about famous, restaurant here is called Sabroso Panama. Sabroso Panama is a typical Panamanian restaurant. They have a Diablo Rojo, which is the original decorated buses inside the restaurant, and then they always put on a show at night. I don't know during the week, but on the weekend definitely. So if you're coming, you want to go to Open Table and make a reservation, and then they come and they dance, and then they get the audience involved, and some of these people would get down, so it's funny. But now with Fiestas Patrias, because we are celebrating patriotic holidays, so it's all about that. So I like the fish there. It's pretty good, and they know how to cook plantains. So if you want any of the typical Panamanian fares, you're going to find them here. Sancocho, arroz con guandú, arroz blanco, pollo asado, grilled chicken, pollo en salsa, chicken in sauce. And then, when they say salad, in Panama, salad means like a coleslaw. And, excuse me, patacones, fried plantains everywhere. Yuca, of course, it's very prominent here. And then you get empanadas, that's very prominent here. Ropa vieja, which is shredded beef in tomato sauce. You're going to find that. Guacho, which is like a risotto, but you can have guacho with chicken or with seafood. And then they have the sows. The sows is the pig feet that they pickle here. I'm still working on that one too. I can't eat it yet. There's this young man who is very prominent in the art scene, and he said the other day, I saw him, he said, when somebody asks what is a typical Panamanian dish, everybody says there's sancocho, which is that soup, and it's the Panamanian's national dish, Panama's national dish. And he said, but I can tell you, el sao, which is the pickled pig feet, he said, that is a typical Panamanian dish. I'm like, okay, I'm still working on that one. So when you come here, the menu, you go to Sabroso, the menu is very simple, but the food is really good. And I think the entertainment is why people go there. And I saw the other day that if you're bringing a large group of people, like buses would just descend, they're doing like a special buffet for a group. So if you have a large group, go ahead and reach out to them and they'll do a special menu for you. I don't know if they're going to close the restaurant while you're eating. I'm not sure. But that is something. But Sabroso Panama makes a killing because people are always coming and wanting to visit. And as a local, I consider myself a local now. I like to come here on a Saturday. If somebody is visiting and say, let's go to Sabroso, and it gives you a really good sense of Panamanian culture. Okay, you know what? I won't be able to read your comments if I don't put my glasses on. I have to be able to read, and these sunglasses aren't doing it. Oh, it's clearing up a little bit. Again, this is the canal. Okay? Right. Alright. Ooh. Finally, some people are coming. That's because the rain is lightening up. Alright, let me get my glasses so I can... Oh, it's on my chest. Yes. But let me tell you, people are missing out not seeing that sloth. It was amazing. ¿Ha perdido algo? ¿Perdido algo?
Un vaso, te dejé un vasito.
Un vasito, no, no lo vi. All right. This person came and said he left his daughter's bottle here. All right. What is that? I don't understand this. Pro se, that I ain't good. Kindly ask for an honest answer. How many meatballs can you eat at once? You know what? Seriously. I'm not just removing you. I'm going to take you out, put you in timeout. Tell me of your holiday. Is that the same person? What holiday? You mean the patriotic holiday here in Panama. This is the whole month of November. They celebrate independence. And it's a patriotic month where they celebrate their country, La Patria. La Patria means the motherland. So everybody, you know, they have flags everywhere. Everybody's wearing their traditional outfit. There's a lot of folkloric dancing, lots of eating and drinking and just partying. And then we did 2 already. The 3rd was separation from Colombia. On the 5th is Colón Day. They say that's when the last Colombian troops left Panama. So I went to Colón for that and you saw the videos. And then on the 10th, they celebrated in Los Santos, which is one of the provinces inside the country where they said the first cry for independence was in that area. So they celebrated. You know, it's usually more parades and eating and tamborino and dancing. And now the 28th after Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, is when they're going to have separation. They're going to celebrate separation from Spain in 1821. So that's why the whole month of November is called Mes de la Patria. Mes de la Patria. So it's just everybody is into, hi DK, Deborah. Everybody is into celebrating Panama, the motherland. Everybody's so patriotic, you know, like lots of, we had fireworks on November 3rd, 5 a.m. The president was there, you know, because the palace is not too far from where I live. So 5 a.m., boom, 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 boom. It's like, ooh, 5 a.m. But we haven't seen fireworks after that. I was surprised. Anyway, some of the ships you can see in the horizon. Yeah. And then it's Christmas, it's New Year. January is going to be a bit quiet, and then we have Carnival in February. Yes. That sounds delicious. What sounds delicious? Oh, all the food? Yeah. And ceviche. Let's not forget ceviche. Panama is big on ceviche. And I forgot the fried fish. Listen, I'm slipping. The food here, you can have the fish a la plancha. A la plancha I mean grilled, in a skillet, or you can have it frito, which means fried, and then patacones. So you can have arroz con coco, which is rice with coconut rice. They put coconut in everything here, which is fine with me. And but the fish is very prevalent here, fresh fish. You can't find salmon very well. You can't find grouper. Certain fish you don't see, like mahi, cod. I don't think I've seen cod, but they have snapper, lots of snapper, white snapper, red snapper. What's the long one? Mackerel. And I have different ones too that I can't even pronounce. But usually I stick to the snappers or to corvina. Corvina is in the same family as the snapper, and we cook that all the time. I love it. In fact, I have some thawing at the house, so I'm going to cook tonight. But tomorrow, I thought I'm going to do something with tofu. I found some tofu here. It doesn't say if it's firm or whatever, but I'm going to make it work. And I'm going to do a curry with chickpeas and green peas and edamame. I found some okra. I'm going to put some in there. I have some tomatoes. Okay. My boy. See. Yes.
Did you visit all the civics?
I think so. I did not see the butterflies.
Oh, well.
With the weather. Yeah. I went to see those 3 doors there. Las tres puertas. Allá. And then I went down here, and then I came back here. Okay? Usted se cierra a las 5, ¿sí?
4:50.
4:50. Okay. Gracias. All right. She comes to tell me if I saw all the exhibits. They closed the area with the butterflies because when it's storming, I don't know, maybe the butterflies get scared. She said they close at 4:50, so I'm watching my clock. So we good. We got about 30 minutes. So if you guys have any question, this is the time to ask me. But yeah, Panama, lots of history. And when you see people in the street for the whole month, it's not just on the day they celebrate. The men have their guayaba, and they have different ones, different they have some with like a light blue with stripe, and it's very typical. And the ladies have their white shirt with they wear the gold pendants. I don't know if you call it long chain. And then they wear the things in their hair, and that's how they celebrate their independence. And then everywhere you go, you find people dancing in polleras in the stores, at the mall. At the mall, we still had parade. I mean, I was having my nails done the other day, and there was a parade. And the band was playing some American style music. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And all the schools have bands. Like Migración, the big departments, they have their own band. Sometimes you go to an event, and the police station has singers, and they go up there in the uniform, they're singing, and then they're playing. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. All right, guys, did you have any questions for me? Yeah, it's starting to lighten up a little bit, but I will post my pictures of the sloth. You know, the sloth is like that really slow animal that hangs in the trees. I saw some in Costa Rica when I was there, and I guess the monkeys, the sloth, those are really I don't want to say indigenous, but you find them a lot in the Americas. Yesterday, there were, Panama is known for their fauna, which is the animal, and their flora, which is the vegetation. And they are big on conservation. So this institute here, this reserve is right in line with Panama's dedication to preserving what they have. So when you talk to somebody who lives in the interior, they say, oh yeah, they have mountain lions, and I've seen, we've seen a lot more crocodiles in the waterways, lots of iguanas, and there is one park here in the city called Metropolitan Park, Parque Metropolitano. They say they have more bird species in there than America has as a whole. So if you are into bird watching, you love Panama. You go to Boquete, that is the number one pastime, is bird watching. And they have tours. The enthusiasts would go hiking so they can use the binoculars and see little birds that are very rare. I'm not into that, just like I'm not into golfing. But so Panama really wants to preserve the vegetation, their plants. So they're doing reforestation, they're replanting, and that's what this institute is helping with. So if they have any animals that are endangered, of course they want to protect that, and that yellow frog is endangered. But yesterday in the news, they said somebody hit a jaguar. We have jaguars here. And I'm like, where was that? Killed a jaguar. So maybe it was crossing the road like the deers in the US. But anyway, I think I posted one time too. Somebody had like a ring light outside their home, and they showed some mountain lions just coming around the house, just whoo. And if people have chickens, they have to put them into safety because the wild animals come during the night and would take the chicken. So Panama is big on conservation. And also one thing you may not know is that Panama is carbon neutral. It used to be carbon negative, because what happens is when, in the atmosphere, because of combustion and gas and all the deadly stuff that we throw up in the atmosphere, if you have a lot of trees, they kind of trap the carbon dioxide so it doesn't go and pollute the air that we are breathing. So Panama was one of 5 countries. When I first got here in 2019, 2020, they said Panama was carbon negative, which means it trapped more carbon dioxide than it let out in the environment. Big countries like China, America, they're terrible. They pollute everything because they make so many cars, and they have industries, they have plants that are using and putting all that stuff in the atmosphere. And then we talk about the ozone layer, people getting sick, and the cancers and all that, right? So Panama was doing a great job of that. Well, last year I said it had downgraded to carbon neutral. So it's not, it's just kind of equalizing it. However, how much we put out, it trapped. So that's still good. That's still good. I remember there's a sister in Ecuador. She said that sometimes they measure the smog in the air, and their air quality was good. I think it was better than Panama City, right? The interior would be better. But when I was in Chile, I can tell you, Chile had the worst smog, and the air quality was bad. I remember the kids being sick all the time, and runny nose, and having upper respiratory infection. And then what was bad with Chile, that was in the 90s now. I don't know if it's better. But what was bad was that there were a lot of people smoking. So you have the Andes Mountain that's surrounded, so you don't have a lot of air escaping, so it's like trapped. And then you have smog, and then you have smoke, so no bueno. It was not a good combination. But Panama, people don't smoke a lot here. And I think someone told me there was a law that was passed to curb that, and I think that's great. So we don't have a lot of that. In terms of disease, when I was doing some research, High blood pressure, mostly diabetes is a concern here. Cancer is also a concern. Some of the diseases that affect poor people you're going to find here because there is inequity here, you know, the haves and the have not. So if somebody is poor, you're not going to worry about what you eat and, you know, exercise and stuff like that. Same thing over there and everywhere, right? So, and then eating all that junk, cheap junk food that's killing us. So, anyway, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But anyway, so I think I will have time to make a run for it. I'm gonna take the guys, do you have any questions? It's almost 4:30. So what I can do, I'm gonna take the camera and walk around and show you the other side of the causeway, okay? Because this is the Panama Canal side that I'm sitting on, and it looks a lot brighter now. It's a good thing I brought my stand. This is what I'm looking at. Oh, all right. Okay. So this is all the, you know, the ships are still there. You don't see them because of the smog. But behind that little island is the canal is back there. So this one, you know, it could be, what do they call it? A yacht. I don't think they would have yacht people docking in that water here. That, or it might be like security, you know, because they're patrolling and keeping the canal safe. So this is what you're seeing here. And again, like I said, if you go about that way, you have restaurants, parties and entertainment. And then if you take the ferry, it takes you that way to go to Taboga Island, right? So I am going to walk around. I don't think you're going to be able to see much because the weather is bad. So this is what the reserve looks like. And you know, I have one, yeah, you're not going to be able to see much. I have an umbrella that looks really dingy because I'm having trouble with, gracias. So usually on the other side, that would be the causeway, and you would be able to see the city skyline. Right now, you're not able to see any of that. So this is the Hippodromo, I guess. That's where they have like, they have events and stuff. They put cards here. But I'm going to be walking out. It's just, ooh, what's that? I didn't see any iguanas. They told me not to touch the iguanas, and I'm like, I don't have to worry about that. Why would I want to touch the iguanas? They scare me anyway. All right. So, all right, guys. It looks a little bit lighter here now, but that's why it is just so calm. All right, I don't have something to cover my hair, but let me grab my umbrella. I have a dingy looking umbrella. In fact, I didn't bring my big one. All right, nobody's asking any questions, you guys? I had like a denim jacket. Whew, I had to take it off. And I'm so glad I brought this this light wrap, because who wants to be putting trying to get my umbrella. Yeah, I'm gonna be walking outside holding this, and then maybe we can get to see a little bit of the causeway. All right. So they're probably gonna laugh at me when they see this umbrella, but I remember opening it and I was like, oh my God, that looks horrible. Okay. All right. Nos vamos. So I'm just gonna turn it and you guys can see. All right, because they're gonna be closing soon. So I am walking out of the Smithsonian. The thing on the left, they have like a pool there. In that pool, they have some sharks They showed me like a porcupine looking type of fish. They had starfish. I think that's all I saw. And then those doors on the right, that's where they have the information about the arañas, the frogs. So, but you know, it's kind of a nice preserved area. Oh, I'm so glad it's not storming. I can walk. Yep, you start this door and then you go to the others. Oh no, it's not one. It's further up. All right. So when I go out, I will cross over the causeway and catch the bus back to Albrook. So if you are a visitor, you're usually gonna Uber or take a taxi. You know how I feel taxis, right? And to come here and to come to the causeway, they usually will charge you a bit more because it's a little bit out of the way. I remember coming here, I think I had dinner with a young lady, and I was trying to catch the bus to go back. I could not get the bus. The bus did not come through. So certain time when they have events, like on the weekends, this place is mobbed. Family comes, they come to eat, and they just sit and enjoy the causeway. Now see, you're looking at some of the waterways right here. You could see some mountains in the back, right? Yes. And that house up on the hill. Okay. So they're looking at me. They're like, oh, this woman is crazy. You know, the things we do as content creators. Why not? The things I do for you guys. They're looking at me like, what is she doing? But there is a lot more to Panama City than, you know, Balboa. This is still part of the city. The causeway. Yes. Whew, thank God for the umbrella. Such as bad as it is. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to turn left here, and then it's got me. I would go to the restaurant, maybe sit, enjoy the show. But I'm like, I need to get some quinoa. I don't know. I might still go. I have rice, so instead of quinoa, I'll cook some rice. I don't want to eat it, but I'm gonna have a choice. All right, so we're gonna turn left. So if you come to Panama and you want to come to the Smithsonian and take your chance at seeing a sloth. Now, if you go to Monkey Island, no, I think the Gamboa Resort is where you would see the sloth, right? But this is a sanctuary for the sloth here. So they have two in the trees. But I'm telling you, being able to see that one so close was amazing. And I'm like, how did I get so lucky? Thank you, God. That was so pretty. And she was like, she knew I loved seeing her. Oh, wait a minute. Where am I going? Oh, yeah. Okay, I was like, I don't remember this road. But that's me, though. You know, I start going places and like try to figure it out. But yeah, you can get lost in here. That's the parking lot on the right. But since I did not drive, don't have a big umbrella, but this works. So you have the beach over here, and they have signs that say, do not get on the beach. So the sisters and I are going to celebrate Mother's Day at a resort on the beach right now, which is in Petosi, close to Petosi. So it's like a 5-hour ride from the city. We hired a driver, and of course I'll be posting some snippets so you could see us having fun. All right, let us see. You know, I had turned this Facebook Live before, so I don't know if that works because I only have one phone and with Wi-Fi. I have my two phones, but my iPhone doesn't have Wi-Fi when I'm out of the house. When I'm in the house, they both work. So I'm thinking maybe I will put my SIM card in the iPhone. But the iPhone has the memory is going down. Hello. So, all right. So let's go. I am heading out. So yeah, so if you come to Panama and you want to come to the Smithsonian, you can just put that in your Uber, or you could go to Albrook, and once you get out, don't go down. Just go around outside and you catch the 850, I think it's 850C. That's the only bus that comes through there. And all it does is the causeway. And then if you use Google Map, it will tell you when to get out. People are afraid of the rain here. It's the funniest thing. They'll be in a rush to cover their hair. And if it's raining, everybody's taking shelter, even if they have an umbrella. It makes no sense to me. All right. Woo. Rain, rain, rain. But you know, we hadn't had that much rain in a while. So I never complain about the rain. Never. And I knew to wear my sneakers and not trying to be cute. All right. Oh, rain's getting heavier. Whew. Okay. I just need to get to that bus stop. Usually they're very well marked. But on the weekend, the causeway is mobbed, very busy with families, visitors. Yeah. And then they would have a lot of police presence there too. All right. Whew. Wow. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be looking for the next bus stop, because when I got off the bus, I had to walk a little bit to get to here. This is the causeway. When someone mentions the causeway, that's what they mean. And then if I cross, I will show you the ships. Whew. Okay. All right. Let's go. We're crossing. We're crossing. So you're always looking for the double, for the double lines. That's your crosswalk. All right. So you see all the ships? Yep. That's where people with money, Mark Zuckerberg, and some of those would anchor their yachts here. But see, if it wasn't raining like that, you would really enjoy. You see all the benches? You can just sit around and have fun. They even have bikes that you can rent and just walk and a bike the whole length of the causeway. People bike it as well. See all the ships. And then in the back there will be the skyline. Oh, look at this one. Look at that. Oh, interesting. And sometimes also you see the Coast Guard doing exercises in the water. They'll have like an amphibian type of helicopter land in the water. Yep. Okay, so I see the one on the other side. I don't see the one for me yet. Woo. Okay. And you see that mountain looking thing in the distance? Yeah. And the museum is right on that side of the road. Museo. That's the one I encourage you to come to. All right. Oh, where is my bus stop? No bueno. And then, you know, if you're not at a stop, the bus will not stop for you. Nope. Doesn't matter. Wow. The next stop is far away. I'm hearing music. So I guess the next stop is going to be at the Museo. Museo. I know I keep saying Museo, but it's Museo. Because we don't say I, we say E. Museo. Ships. Whew. My feet are feeling wet. So if you were to walk the whole length of this thing, it says it's 2.5 kilometers. Okay, not bad. It's not that long either. I'm wondering if what I'm hearing is music coming from this boat here. I think so. The pirates are having fun. Look at this fancy trash can. Look. Wow. So you can sit here and enjoy, you know, bring your lunch and enjoy the view. That's what Panama does for you. Oh, they're having a party on that boat. That's what it is. There's a party going on there on that bus, on that ship. I see people in white. Okay. That's what I thought. See? Bike lane on the left, path on the right. Everything nicely, clearly marked. Okay. Am I getting close? My goodness. That's a long walk. In the rain. The things I do for you guys. Whew. All right. Easy does it. Don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe, you guys. I'm still about, what is that? 1,300 subscribers away from 20,000. I know we can do this. I need one viral video. I haven't been able to have a viral one. It's been a while. But I keep plugging. I keep trying. And one of these days I'll have another one. I had one video that went viral. That was the one where I talked about the dark side of becoming an older expat. And then after that, it was like, that's it. Whew. All right, guys. Where is that bus stop? Lord Jesus. It's taking me forever. Maybe I should have crossed the road, get on that bus, and then it would have just turned around with me. That would have been the smart thing to do, because I don't even see it. I remember that roundabout. Well, where is the Biomuseo? I see it. Why is it that far? Oh my. That was really far. Yeah, that's true. I remember the bus driving quite a little bit to get. Oh, Maggie, you miscalculated. But that's okay. That's okay. I look at it and I say, well, that's part of my workout. I walked for 2 hours this morning because I went all the way to the end of the causeway and then back. So I got more miles. That's okay. I have not eaten anything today yet. So my once a day eating when I get home, that would be it. Oh my goodness. My thing is getting wet. Whew. You see that mountain there? I wonder if that's Uncon Hill. And you kind of sort of want to see that receptacle every few feet, so you cannot litter here. And if you turn to the side, you see the other side. Okay? Yeah. Aw. I'm so happy you guys got to see this. It wasn't planned. It's a bit challenging, but we're making it work. Oh, wow. The wind is blowing. I just want to see that bus stop so I can start feeling I'm up there. Wow. Did not know it would take that long. I did not think about it. This is the first time I'm coming to the Smithsonian. So remember, just walk a few feet on your left and get on that bus. It's going to drive you to the end and turn around, and you won't have to pay extra. You should have a Metro card. If you come to Panama, you're going to stay for a little bit. That will save you some money. All right? All right. The rain is slowing down. I pray. Okay, you see that? You see all these palm trees? Doesn't that look gorgeous? I'm telling you, in the daytime, where everything is clear, it's just absolutely stunning. So you could go from one end to the other and then make it a nice walk exercise. And also, after the Biomuseo, they have a convention center that used to be our main convention center. Now Oh yeah, that's the new one. There is one called Atlapa in San Francisco. They have events there as well. But the main convention center is called Figali. And it's like a bit away ahead on this causeway. Yes. Okay. Don't see any bus stop yet. Oh my God. Uh-oh. The wind is picking up. And I don't. Let's see. Yep. So I got to keep walking. Wow. All right. So I should be nice and skinny. You see, it says C850 Amador. That is the bus. Yes. And all it does, 8 kilometers. Ooh. So it's more than 2.5. Okay. And now you have a lookout area. I mean, we usually call those Amador también. Look at that. She's hiding under there from the rain. But you can go right here and then stand there and look out. And they say prohibido pescar. That means you can't fish from there. This is the red bus that does the touring of the city. Hop on, hop off. So they do come to Amador. You can get off, walk around, have lunch, and then wait for the next one. And the schedule is online. All right, I'm getting closer to the museum. That means I'm getting closer to the bus stop. Wow. Now I know how far apart they are. Usually once you get off, across the street will be another one. Not this time. Not this time. Maybe they had one back there, but I didn't know. All right. You live and learn. But God is good. I have this dingy umbrella. I'm not wet. You know, my pants are feeling a bit wet, but oh well. As I tell people, I'm not salt. You're not going to melt. Relax. Woo. I love the palm trees. Ciclista, cyclists. They say we're sharing the road with cyclists. Look at that. You can see some of the skyline. Isn't that a sight for sore eyes? Yeah? Yes. I think that's the Ancon Hill in the background, which is the highest point in the city, in Panama City. Yes. You still there? Okay. So you're getting a free walk through. All right. The rain has slowed down quite a bit, but the wind is still a bit strong. Everything is so nice and clean. And we talk about Panama's sidewalks. Look at this, right? And this is what people say they have in Costa del Este. Not like with the bike and the walk path, but wide, safe sidewalks. And in Costa del Este. And a lot of people like that, you know, because they feel safer. But in Panama City, Lord Jesus. You know, in the morning, I was going to walk, and my earbuds been acting up. So I had the phone in my hand and I was watching something, and I'm like, and then I said to myself, Maggie, you cannot be walking and looking down at your phone. That's how people get hurt, and they fall, they get into ditches, break their ankle, break their knees, and I'm like, no ma'am. So I put my phone, I had my crossbody, and then kept it going. Gotta be alert. Yep. Another little turn around to show you on both sides. You have those benches so people can sit and relax. Ooh. I got to get to those buses, and then after that I should be able to see that bus stop, because I take it when I go to the museum. I love that museum. We take my little children's group that I volunteer at. We brought them to the museum the other day. They were so excited. And there was this one kid who was looking so sad. My heart went out to him. So I went out of my way to be nice to him, because these kids come from very unstable homes. And you know, in those homes probably have abuse and all kinds of stuff. And oh, whew. They're probably saying, what is this woman doing walking for so long? All right, I see some big buses, meaning they had groups. You know, it could be that they have groups of people eating at some restaurants, but because they can't park there, they come and park over here. And then they'll go back and pick them up. Yep. Sorry if the phone is moving a lot, but can't help it. I have the umbrella in my other hand. And I need that. Yeah, it's still sprinkling. I love these black rocks that they put all around. Isn't that cute? Very nice. This morning I was walking on the causeway, and I thought I saw something moving. I was like, I wonder if it's I was thinking it would be a, what do they call those? One of the not a whale, but anyway, it doesn't come to me. But that's what I was thinking it might be. But it was just rock. 1.5 kilometers. I know I walk longer than that. Alrighty. My goodness. Now you can see the skyline really clearly. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I can pick out my building because it's tall and thin. And I'll say, that's mine. I think I see mine, but I might be wrong. So again, come here on an evening that you're free. Sit here, bring your dinner, bring your lunch, just enjoy. And then if you call an Uber, should be able to come pick you up from this parking lot here. No problem. Oh, I see the bus. You see that bus? That's where I'm heading. Oh my goodness. Whew. Dear Lord. But anyway, I'm thankful that I'm able to walk, that my legs still work, my knees. Are these restrooms? Oh, see, baño. So you can come here and use the restroom. Excelente. I did not know that. I thought you'd have to go inside a business. And you can rent these little bikes, tricycle bikes, whatever. So you can see. Yep.
mango.
Uh-huh. Isn't that cool? Yes. I wonder where you get them from though. I don't know. I don't know. Why is the bus still staying there? That doesn't sound good. It should not be stationed there. You should just take people. And again, this is what do they call that river again? Hmm. Gutan Lake? I think it's Gutan Lake. You know, when they were making the canal or extending it, they had to make a lake that could rise the water and lower it so the ships can go up and down. I think that's Gatun, that's it, Gatun Lake. That's what they call it. Maybe that's what this is over here. Close to the ocean. And look at the trellis on this thing. I don't know why they put that there since you can't, it's not a bus stop. What's the purpose of this? Is it just cosmetic? Huh? Why? Why do you have that there? They should have that with the bus stop. Oh Lord. I don't know. But I know they have. Okay, the bus finally left. Okay, good. Because I'm like, why is the bus stopping? It shouldn't. Here's the skyline. This is Panama. Beautiful Panama. 360. 360. So we had our rain. It's nice and fresh. So it's going to be nice and cool. So I'm going to go home. I have, what do I have? I have bok choy. I have spinach. I have okra. What else do I have? And then I have my Covina fish that's been thawing since this morning. I left the house at about probably 1 o'clock. So, and like I said, I have not eaten anything today. So I am ready for my meal of the day. You know, that's the only way I can maintain my weight. And I've been bad. I've had cornmeal. I've had some pasta. All the stuff I said I'm not going to have. But anyway, never said I was perfect. Especially when, come on. Then I'm going to have to wait for the next one. I don't see the bus stop yet. I'm looking. Whew. Parada de bus. That's how they say bus stop. La parada de bus. So if you're on the bus, you know, they have these red buttons on the bus. You know, the metro stops at regularly scheduled stops. So they'll tell you, próxima parada. They tell you where the next one is. But on the bus, you have to push that red button to tell the driver that next stop, that's your stop, right? You don't want to get off 2 stops before. You'll have too much walking to do. But sometimes the red buttons don't work. And then you're trying to tell the driver, next stop is mine. And sometimes it's coming to the stop and then it keeps going. So I have to say, parada, parada. That means stop. So even though it's not how you say stop. Like if you come to a full stop in Panama, you're going to see the sign say alto, A-L-T-O. But if you're telling it, that's my stop, you say parada, parada. P-A-R-A-D-A. Parada. And it's like, oh, I forgot you wanted to get off. I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, another roundabout. Dear Lord. You see the museo? This is the one with the multicolored in the distance. That's the museum, and apparently it is a famous architect that designed it, and it is a unique design. It's multicolored. The roof's just very nice, very nice. All right, cyclists. Yeah. I think sometimes they have events here too. They'll close it and they'll have like event, and we do that on Balboa. And I know on the causeway they have it. Sometimes thousands of people. I'm talking about not just regional, but just multiple countries represented. They have those whew, buses, but not my bus, right? I don't think I've seen my bus stuck here. Huh. Interesting. Maybe these mini buses, but not my bus. Okay. Whew. All right, I'm getting there. That was a long walk. Dear Lord. Yeah, that is definitely Encom Hill. Now this is where you can have a raspao, like the same thing I had in Colon, but they're a little bit more muted here. They don't listen, guys. I don't know if you saw the video I showed you about the guy shaving the ice and making the raspao for me. It were two guys. One would be shaving the ice and the other one would be doing all the syrupy, and you know, it was like 3 days later somebody come on TikTok or something and said he had died. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why you live each day, because you don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the guy, I'm talking to them, saying how famous they are for doing that. And the next thing you know, one of them is dead. Wow. I'm thinking it must have been like a heart attack or something. Hopefully he didn't have too much of that sweet thing, because I'll tell you, I had that one raspao and I'm like, that's it. I think this is my third one. The first one I tried in Rio Abajo. Rio Abajo is a close second to the one from Colon. And then you cannot have that much sugar on a regular. Impossible. Whew. But that poor man is dead. You know, as a nurse, I'm never surprised about death, because I know the brevity of life, that nothing is secure, guaranteed, and when your number is called, it's called. You gotta go. Doesn't matter if you're young, old, ready or not. Yep. Oh my God. I still don't see the bus stop. Now see, if I were with my daughter, she's like, Mom, just call the Uber. That's too much to walk. And me, I'm saying, no, that's good exercise. You see, it's all about perspective, how you look at it. So I was thinking of going to walk again this afternoon, but nope, I don't need to this time. Oh my word. Well, I'm close to the museum. It has to be coming up. That is so crazy. So I walk. Oh, there is a cruise ship, right? And I'm going to show you. If you see in the distance, this is where the cruise ships would dock. You see that white boat over there? I know you may not be able to see it. This is the Bridge of the Americas, and that's usually in Colon. Yeah, they dock in Colon, and then they take buses and they bring them to the city. And that bridge is called Bridge of the Americas. Right there in the distance. Yep. So people who live in places called Panama Pacifico, they are just right outside of the bridge. Yep. My word. I think I see the Parada de Bus finally. Wow. Whew. So the bus gonna take me to Elbrook. I will go to Super 99 and see if they have quinoa. Chances are they don't. Super 99 caters to Panamanian. So they're not worried about, you know, using things that the people are not eating. And I can tell you, Panamanians are not into quinoa like Peruvians might be. Because in Peru, quinoa is abundant. Just like in Peru, they eat lots of potatoes and black corn. And they make the drink called like chicha morada. Morada means brown. So, but in this case, the drink is red. They soak the corn and then they make the drink out of it. It's called chicha morada. It's really good. Except, you know, it's like full of sugar. It's like, oh boy. Wow. Okay, this is the cruise ship right there. It hasn't docked yet. It's still in the middle of the ocean. But it's gonna dock in Cologne. You see it? I hope you see it in the bridge. Beautiful. Yes. Whew. And behind the museum, there is a path that brings you to the causeway. That is really beautiful. I see people taking pictures, you know, like for quinceanera. Quinceanera? You know, when in Spanish culture, when the young girl turns 15, there's a big party. It's like going to the prom, but just for herself, coming of age, like the bar mitzvah for the Jewish boy at 13, like quinceanera. And the parents spend a lot of money on the gowns and hair and big party. Yeah. Whew, Jesus, I have to pass by this other lookout. Wow. This is cray cray. All right, this is a monument. I think, oh, the ship was leaving. It's moving out of port. You see it? It's leaving. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Because it wasn't docked. I know my my aunt was on a cruise and they docked here. And sometimes it's one of your stops and you get off and you can go explore for the day, and then they'll have buses pick them up, pick them here, pick them there, and then so I think the bus stop was on the other side when I got out of the refuge, because okay, I was gonna say I'm gonna make a comment for them to say you need another spot, bus stop in between. But in Panama, you don't make suggestions. It is what it is. Don't do. I'm gonna do a what is it? A suggestion box? Nah, it's not part of the culture. The big powers decide, and that's it. So don't come here thinking you're gonna give your own opinion about the way things needs to be done. Aquí in Panama, we don't do that. All right. There's a museum. So I know the bus stop is close, but it's probably way down there again. Wow. Okay. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be thin by tomorrow. I'm surprised the phone is still running because I only had about half, it was only half charged. Where is the bus stop? I know I took it the other day. So, ¿qué pasó? ¿Dónde está? Wow. Here's another lookout. You could just get on there. If you have binoculars, you can see, you could look at the city, the skyline, the building. Yes. Wow. All right, this is the entrance to the museum. I remember seeing that museum way in the distance. So that's a lot of walking. Oh, man. Yep. I see it coming up finally. Parada de bus. Well, we came here with the kids and they had fun because there's a new exhibit about space that the embassy had arranged for the kids who we consider at risk to explore, you know, to open their minds about the possibility of spatial life, activity, etc., etc. But this is the Biomuseo. You need to come visit. It is a must stop. Okay? All right, so you got to see that. I'm glad about that because I was going to have to make another trip to show you the causeway. Now I can say check. And then I got to see the sloth today. Check. So today was a good day. Today was a good day. You know, it's all about how you look at everything. The rain, the junky umbrella, but it kept the rain from getting me wet. Oh my gosh. All right. Whew. Almost there, Maggie. You made it. You made it. All right. And you see the sign right here that says Biomuseo. That's it. It's a beautiful sign that this architect designed this building. Very good. So I'm just gonna shut the phone off when I get to this parada. That was like 2 miles out. Oh my goodness. I did not realize there was no bus stop in between. Via Calubre, there's a name for it, where I was, and the Biomuseo. Wow. Okay. Finally, we coming up on the bus stop. Gee whiz. But you can also, you know, plenty of taxis. I could have flagged a taxi. I don't do taxis personally. And then when I was coming out of the museum one time, I went across the street and got a raspao. So that was the second one I had. Yes. Whew. Finally. Oh, I don't think if I showed you the sign, because if you take the bus is only gonna stop at these spots. Okay? And the reason you know that is that you're gonna see that sign. See? It shows you the sign for the bus and you get on. But otherwise, it will not stop. Doesn't matter if it's raining, thundering, lightning. Nope. All right. So I'm going to, now there is a little shelter. So I'm gonna take that. Oh my goodness. Whew. Listen. Oh, they got two of them. Whew. All right, guys. I walked, oh my God, look. I walked over 2 miles to get to this bus stop. I'm gonna close my umbrella and be on the lookout for the bus. So I hope you enjoy this long, come on, long ride. Okay. And I'm gonna get my Metro card out. And this is your Rapid Pass Metro. I got 2 of them. So I went to our book the other day, and I went 10 and 10. Put $10 on each one of them. That way I don't have to worry about whether I have enough money on each card. And also, when you scan your card as you go in and out, it will tell you how much you have left. All right, okay, I can close that. But anyway, guys, I am going to log off. Oh my word, look at this hair. I washed my hair this morning when I came home from walking, and yep, still no questions. I guess you guys enjoyed the little walk. I'm keeping an eye out for the bus. It will be coming that way, and I would see it come, and I would just get myself ready. You guys don't have any question? Hour and 22 minutes. Oh, I thought it was longer than that. All right. This is the way my umbrella looked. Really. So, let's see. Oh, now, finally. It took a, I had to push on it. But that's probably something I need to get at our book, but not today. I'll have to do it another day. Today, I've done enough, and I'm going to get home and cook my fish. So when you go out, you always have a fan in your bag or a neck fan. You have a sweat rag. You have water. And then you have an umbrella. So I have 2 bags. So when I have my my crossbody, I make sure I have stuff in it as well. All right, it says battery 20% left. So I am just surprised that that battery lasted that long. So you guys didn't have any questions, right? Nope. What is that? I heard a noise. All right, guys. I'm going to log off. You guys haven't asked any questions, and I've been with you for an hour and a half. I gave you a good walk and view of the Amador Causeway. Amador, Amador. So this is where we were. This is where we walked. This is where you have the Biom sail. This is where you come to get to catch the ferry to go to Taboga Island. This is where people who have yachts and stuff, that's where they dock. But you, a plane. Yeah, because we have a lot of activity in this area because that's where the canal is. So there's a lot of exercise. The other day when I was here, they had a bunch of army-looking people doing exercises in the water because the U.S. is training with the Panamanians to keep the canal safe. That was the memo of understanding or whatever agreement that they had. But they've always done that. It's nothing new. So the rain has stopped and it's a Saturday afternoon and I am enjoying myself. Yep. So did you have any question about the Emerald Causeway? I see 28 of you are still on. So what's happening? Let me see. Let me go down. Oh, okay. We were too busy enjoying the walk with you. I see. You're welcome. Okay, the street is called Amador, D-O-R. A-M-A-D as in dog, O-R, Causeway. Yeah, Amador. And let's see. I don't know if I can write. Nope. I was going to say if I can write on the phone. But it's Amador. And I was only halfway through it. The other side, if I were to go on the other side, that's where you're going to have all the activities, all the restaurants, Sabroso Panama, and they have a lot of big chain restaurants there too. Like, I think there is a Lebanese restaurant there, and lots of hamburgers and pizzas, of course, because it's frequented by a lot of expats. But sometimes when you see the people from Sabroso, Panama, they would post some of their pictures. Oh, some of these people get down, let me tell you. Thank you, Auntie. Yes. Listen, Auntie, I have two big umbrellas on the corner by the door. But usually when I am walking, I'm going to an event, I like the one that fits in my bag. And I realized the one that I have in my bag is all broken up. I had another one that I bought the other day. I think I said that. I opened it up and I heard pop. And then it just folded. So the quality is not there. So somebody bring me a nice umbrella. Ooh, look at you, Greta. Lloviendo. Yes. Yes. Anyway, so I think I did good in the rain, right? My hair doesn't look too bad. And I'm just glad I had this because at the reserve, they tell you to dress, with mosquito repellent and all that. But I really didn't do it. But I will post that video of the sloth. It is the cutest thing. That sloth came close and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, you sweetheart. He was right there. I could have touched him. I touched one of the claws and this girl is like, no, I know you're excited. Don't touch. It was amazing. I have been wanting to see a sloth forever. And I remember when we were on a bus going to Bocas del Toro, one of them was crossing the road and we all got out, but I didn't get to see a good look at him. It was crossing really slow, like a turtle. And then we stopped and somebody grabbed it, but it was fighting and these claws are like long. And then this guy who looked like a local, he said, no. And then he picked it up from, the back of his body, I guess. And then with both hands, and then he just took it into the woods. And it was so nice. But you're going to be amazed. You see how close I was to that sloth. And it looked so adorable. The little nose. Oh, it's the bus. Okay, guys, I got to go. I love you. You know that. Bye.